Children are experts at saying no. We spend such a lot of time teaching them to say yes that I guess it's no surprise that when we become adults, we think it's a sign of maturity and responsibility to say yes to everything, especially when we're local church pastors. Yet one skill essential to long-term effectiveness is the ability to say no. As C.H. Spurgeon put it, learn to say no, it will be more use to you than being able to read Latin. The freedom to say yes springs from the discipline of saying no. So, how do we Christian leaders deal with the deluge of daily demands? Here are a few lessons I'm still learning. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no because I serve a gracious God. He's perfect, but he's not a perfectionist who's never quite satisfied with what I do. It's taken me a long while to realise that God isn't in the least bit impressed when I work myself to death. He's infinite. He knows I'm not. I need to eat, sleep, rest, just as Jesus did. That means I have to say no. God knows my limits. After all, he made them. It's okay to say no because I should get my self-worth from Jesus, not from what other people think of me. Maybe the main reason I find it hard to say no is because I want to be liked and respected. To say no is to risk rejection, so I assume that the secret to being liked is ceaseless, selfless activity. I should know better. My sense of value doesn't come from what I do, but from who I am. A dearly loved child created in the image of my Heavenly Father. It's okay to say no because Jesus didn't do everything he could have done. There were times when he said no. He didn't heal everyone, but he did complete everything his Father required of him. He just learned to say yes to the right person. One of the great things about saying no is that it reminds me that I'm dependent, not just on God, but on church around me. I don't have all the gifts. I can't do all that's needed. I need you and the whole church as well. So actually it's not just okay to say no, it's essential. What about when to say no? Well, first think about what we're saying no to. Does this request or that invitation fit in with my priorities and goals? Unless I can measure invitations against this larger context, my life will take on a shape I never intended. This includes setting goals in the short, medium, long term, as well as setting boundaries for my diary. How much time do I give to family and friends? How much time do I need for rest and relaxation? Remember, God created me to work out of rest, not to rest just so that I can do more work. Sometimes I need to say no to something I've been saying yes to for years. Maybe it's a ministry that's no longer effective or relevant. Maybe it's a long-term commitment that's taking time and energy that would now be better invested elsewhere. Secondly, think about who you're saying no to. Too often I put ministry before family and thought I was being godly. The snag with saying yes to some is that I wind up saying no to others often, the people I love the most. For lots of pastors, perhaps the person we need to say no to most is ourselves. The pressures and demands actually come from us. I've got a good idea for a new X, Y, Z. Of course there are genuine emergencies that require immediate action. Then we respond without hesitation. But in reality, these are fewer and further between than we might imagine. General Eisenhower often told his soldiers, the more important an item, the less likely it is to be urgent. The more urgent an item, the less likely it is to be important. The skill is in discerning the matters that are truly urgent from those other people tell me are urgent. So, no is a vital word in ministry vocabulary. The reason we need to say no to some things is so we can say yes to the right things. Our ministries don't grow in effectiveness as we burn out. They grow as we burn on. That way, we experience the liberation of depending on a God who's able to supply the needs we can't, and the joy of working with the partners he's given to serve alongside us.